So I'm in the front seat of the van, kind of going through the games, realizing and taking in everything that I just picked up when I hear Chase.
What is happening?
Turns out it's a viewer that has a trunk full of Pokemon cards and video games. Let me explain what's going on real quick. I'm building my dream Pokemon collection with every single game, all the vintage cards, and so much more. But I'm buying everything only using profits with items that I flip from game stores, collections, and so much more. We have about this much profits in the Pokebank today, so hopefully we can find some profitable items to flip and be able to add and grow that Pokebank by the end of the day. So today we're going to game stores, and I had just come out of one when a viewer calls my name, opens his trunk, and shows me a dead body. I'm just kidding. Shows me, what do you think? Games, and cards.
What is happening?
Second dude, he goes, yo, I watch you all the time.
Who leaked our location?
My goodness.
Oh, dang.
Got some good stuff too.
Oh, man. Anything you want to sell? So,
I mean, the only ones I'm particularly into keeping are like these sparkle chromes because they're
those are
insanely hard to find.
Those are sick. I had a gold duck.
Oh.
Sparkle chrome, yeah.
Oh yeah. I just sold. I had both of these sent off, and I got a black label. I just sold that for $330, so I was pretty stoked on that. And I kept the other one that's a 9.5.
Yeah. So let me be the first to tell you, this is not normal. I run into viewers here and there, maybe out at garage sales or something, but this is the second time I've run into viewers today alone. And then if a random encounter with a viewer does happen, it's not normal for me to buy stuff from their trunk.
First edition Hypno at a 9.
Okay.
Shadowless. I was kind of bummed on this guy. I got a 3.5. I was like, man.
Dang.
Then this one was really weird. They sent this back on my Zard. I was like, man, what the heck?
Is it altered or something?
It says evidence of color added, but I'm like, this has been on a binder since I pulled it.
Is that base set?
Yeah, well, unlimited. I was bummed. I was like, man, what the heck?
So it's still authentic, it's just...
Yeah, it says on the back here, I'm like, that's what color added?
That's baloney. Would you want to sell the Blastoise or Charizard out of there?
What's your offer on the Blastoise?
What's it go for, do you know?
I honestly don't know off the top of my head.
So it's 8, 8, 7, so it's a strong 7, very strong. Let me look it up, I want to make you a fair offer. Typically when I make buys, I know what I'm getting into and what I'm going to be paying. However, that's not always possible, like in this case. So what I do is I'll pull out eBay, check out the sold listings. Thank you. Shut up! Check out the sold listings with the other person involved, and we kind of come up with my buying price from there. I like to double up, so I usually come in about 50% of the after fees value of the item, but when things are especially high end, I'm trying to make a connection or I can move the item really easily, I try to pay a little bit more than that.
I was stoked to find this one recently.
Oh yeah.
It's still complete.
I love Game Boy Color boxes.
I know, it's so cool.
The colors are so vibrant.
And then
the yellow duck is going to destroy us.
I found this box.
getting attacked by these.
Game so I can complete it.
This has happened before.
And these weird sealed dudes.
Yeah, random.
I'm like, what the heck? Zack and Cody and Enchanted?
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird.
BGS 7 Unlimited.
So you want the Blastoise?
I do.
Yeah, I haven't looked up
One at 84, buying out 115. Those are the only 7s that have sold recently. So right in that 84 to 120 range, I guess. CGC is a 78 and 100. I think 100 would be a fair, like you could get it. Had to buy it now for like 80 bucks cash.
I'll do that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Especially to go to you guys.
Well, sweet, man.
Thank
you. And then the Charizard with it. Is that something you want to get rid of? I mean...
Possibly. I was thinking about sending it into another company, but I'm not sure. I know last time I checked, they were like 2 something for just raw, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think they go for about 200. I don't know. What do you think cash?
Probably do like 150. It's probably, if not, I'd probably keep it.
Okay. What else you got in there? Anything else you would sell out of there?
Take a look.
That's pretty cool. First edition. I love those sparkles.
I know,
those
man.
Are so sick.
They're like so hard to find, and like just raw, they go for a few $100. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Since when? It's like so slept on.
Uh-huh. That would have been a good thing to invest in like years ago. 35, that is just brutal.
I know, I was so mad.
Yeah. It's all the surface. It's probably just a scratched up hollow. What can you do? How about, what if, okay, so we're at, you said 150, we're at 80 on this. That's 230. What if we just did 260 for the free? Do the 30 on the Venusaur.
I'll do that.
All right. I didn't think that would happen randomly in the parking lot.
I saw the Caterpie sticker. I was like, oh, dude, I was following all the stuff, man.
How
long have you been watching?
Right before you guys bought the game barn.
Okay.
Nice.
That's cool.
A little bit, yeah. Not bad. All right, well, let me get some cash. So I paid $260 for the cards. Now, I thought I needed these for the collection, but really I had them all, probably in a little bit better condition. So these I'll be flipping and should profit about $90, which will bring the Pokebank now to $123. Not really the best amount if we find something super high-end that we need to add to the collection. Our next stop is a game store that has a very wide range of inventory and a glorious Mario statue. My business is very diverse in what I source and sell, so it's always a benefit when I go to a store and they have more than just games. But I just hope that I'll have enough in the Pokebank to get something for the collection. All right, so we're at the next location, game store.
This is Game Go.
Game Go, pretty cool store. Lots of selection, and Skylar pointed out they have a Pokemon game that I don't actually currently have in the collection. Pokemon Ruby, it looks really clean. Marked at 300. Downside is we only have 123 in the Pokebank right now, so we currently cannot afford that. We might have to keep it in mind for the future, or maybe we can find some stuff around here.
This place is pretty massive.
There's a lot of stuff.
There's a Blastoise decal on the wall.
Yeah.
And there's a whole Pokemon card section too.
Yeah, I briefly looked. So, let's see if we can find anything. When you're in a large store like this, it can get easy to lose focus and get overwhelmed. So one thing that's helpful to do when sourcing at game stores is to know the low-hanging fruit. That just means like items that are really easy to flip, items that have really high value, maybe certain accessories to target that are often underpriced at stores, console variations, highly demanded games where if they're in great condition, you can get a lot more. Stuff like that to be able to target quickly when you're at a big store like this, so you can hone in on a few things.
All right, by the card section, and we see
Got some reverse hollows. See, this is the kind of thing that if we had the binder more organized.
Miss Drevis.
There's some in
Black
top
Star.
loaders down there though. I kind of want to look.
You see that Miss Drevis Black Star?
Yeah,
card?
I don't.
Does that count?
Nah.
I've never seen that one.
Ooh, that Zapdos though. Ooh, is that
$190.
Is that hollow? It is. I think the H means it's hollow. Yeah, it's hollow.
Okay. Oh, I can see the speckles
Looks
on
like
the lines.
The 32 hollow cards had their own little set. So I want to look that up.
That's cool.
Oh, these are just the best cards. So this is Aquapolis.
And that's the one
out of 147. It is Wizards of the Coast. Okay. I don't think I need anything there, but that Zapdos in the magnetic case.
Like this one?
One more. Yep. It's got the one thing right there. If it didn't have, it'd be.
That'd be a nice quad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's The Rock. Or excuse me, Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Easy.
My pronunciation's always wrong.
And here's what we picked up from Game Go. 2 wrestling games on PS2. He did 20 bucks out the door. We'll profit $10 on each, so another $20 added to the Pokebank. So here's the thing.
We just got done at Game Go.
Yep.
Know the owner, Greg. He's awesome. We got a couple games, and I was working on a deal with Gabe with the Pokemon cards. He can't meet anymore.
We had it sealed, man.
I know. But
What's the story?
he got called into work, and he's an hour and a half away from where we currently are, which is still like an hour away from home. We'll be able to hit more spots now, but we're not going to be able to get those pieces. But we have a price locked in, $300 for a ton of hollow cards, including base set Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur. So maybe we'll have more money to work with then.
Yeah.
But Chase, you have a deal as well.
Yeah, so I had a deal sealed as well. $560 for like 12 consoles with a bunch of games. They were gonna meet in our town back home, and they just backed out too. So,
Dane, were you working on something too?
you had a potential lead.
I had a potential lead, but
Okay.
nothing yet. It's not
So like
looking great.
we literally had deals that we were really excited about to meet for today, and they both have backed out. Thane's isn't coming through right now.
We got.
So we're gonna have to go old school and hit some more stores, I think. We could go to a pawn shop. There's a lot of options.
I mean, it's still your birthday, so we can do whatever you want. Also, it's still his birthday. Like, comment, and subscribe.
It's my birthday. Like for my birthday. I'm 47. So we had these other deals planned. It didn't really pan out, but that enabled us to go to a very special place. You know how I always say, $1 no holla? $3 no holla. Well, that phrase originally came from a pawn shop we're about to go to called Dicker and Deal. This is the pawn shop that $2 no holla came from, right here.
$2 no holla.
Dicker and Deal.
Dicker and Deal. Let's go
I've
see
heard
if we can
legends.
spend $2 and no hollas at this store. I went into this pawn shop a little bit before Black Friday and asked if they had any Black Friday deals. The first thing he says, it's always Black Friday at Dicker and Deal. They didn't have any deals. And then I was asking for a deal on a game. I think he had $2 on it. I was trying to get it for $1 and he said, come on, man, $2 no holler. And that is how that phrase began. It has stuck with me and I paid him the $2. Well, I'm popping on the PS5. It's gonna be out the door $500. It's used, but they're hard to find. And I'm really excited to add a trade asset to the Pokemon pursuit, because now I can put a trade post up on Facebook, see if we can get anybody to bite on it, and get a sweet deal. And then I'm also gonna get the God of War PS4 for $280. It's always Black Friday at Dicker and Deal. Somebody in our van.
All right, the deals at the Dickers are done.
We should probably say it normally. We just scored at the pawn shop. This is a beautiful condition God of War PS4. Very hard to find, and we got it for $280 flat. So no tax. They ate that for us, and I think I can net $500 on Amazon. There is a little bit of a premium on Amazon compared to eBay, but that's going to leave us with $220 in profit. Plus, I picked up the PS5 for trade bait, which I'm very excited about. Hopefully in a future episode, we'll seal an epic trade on that.
Oh, for some Pokemon.
Exactly.
Let's go.
So we'll see what happens there. The road's closed. I got to figure out a different way to get to the next Goodwill.
Goodwill, where the will is good and the goods will. So how much profit do we got going into this now?
So we're sitting at $363.
The exact cost of, wait, that's exactly what we were at before.
In the last one?
The Emerald.
Yeah.
We're back 363.
We're back at 363 now.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Why does this have to be so confusing?
Yeah, so we're sitting at 363 in profit. I doubt we'll find any Pokemon items at Goodwill. So hopefully we can add to the Pokebank, get some more, and maybe end up buying something real nice. If we could seal that Pokemon deal with your guy.
I know. I sent him another message, so we're just waiting.
Okay, so to be determined there, but let's go find some scores at Goodwill. Anytime I go into a Goodwill, I usually hightail it over to the media and electronics sections. That's usually where I have the most success. The other area to make sure to hit is when they bring out those carts with new inventory. Those need to be hit right away because that's fresh stuff that nobody else has really seen. Goodwills are tougher these days, so a lot of areas, kind of including mine, Goodwills are becoming very hard to find good inventory, where some, I've heard, still have games for $2 across the board and put them all out. So kind of know your area, know which thrift stores to hit, and maybe if you should use your time somewhere else. There's games back there. That might actually be a good Tiger Woods Masters one right there. Which one is it? And you got a nice NCAA football for it.
Is that what this is?
Swing and a miss. We looked, but we did not find any winners. Crap stank. The last stop of the day is the card shop. This shop kind of has a lot of medium to lower end cards, but that kind of actually works out for us because we don't have specific high end stuff yet that we know that we're targeting. And stuff like this is right up our alley. They have comics, magazines, Magic the Gathering, toys, sports cards, and yes, Pokemon cards with some vintage Pokemon cards. But it actually took some convincing to the store owner to bring out the vintage Pokemon cards. They weren't even out in the store at all. We wouldn't have known they existed if we didn't ask. And these cards were vintage First Edition Near Mint. This was actually his last box of vintage Pokemon cards since he sold off everything else over the last couple of years to be able to focus more on sports cards and Magic cards. We ended up getting nearly the whole box of vintage First Edition Jungle and Team Rocket Pokemon cards for 117 bucks cash. And also this Elite Trainer box we didn't have for 42. Brown bag of gold. Pokemon gold. So we finished the day with $204 in the Pokebank. We added some beautiful near mint Pokemon cards to add to my sets. We got a great look at some high-end Pokemon box games that we couldn't quite afford at that moment, maybe a lead for the future. And we also added a PS5 to be able to trade for profitable items in the future as well. It was a great day with some great times. But join the journey, guys. The spreadsheet to this entire series and the collection is linked down below, so check that out. Consider commenting stuff we should add. Check out the last episode here if you missed it, and the next one here if you're from the future. Thank you, guys. Subscribe to continue to follow along. Bartle do, crap mo, stank mo, licky the chippy dippy. We'll see you next time.